Do this sacred ritual before 11:11 today. Archangel Michael's September 16 message could launch you into your highest timeline, but only if you're ready. There are days and then there are divine appointments. This is not just another day on the calendar. September 16 is not ordinary. It is an ordained moment carved into time by the hand of the Most High. It is a sacred portal, a celestial convergence where heaven and earth draw close. The veil thins. The timeline split. The hour of 11:11 is your invitation into alignment, transformation, and divine acceleration. Today, heaven is offering you something rare, something powerful. A timeline shift is now hovering over your life, waiting to be sealed by your obedience. And it is no coincidence that this message has reached you before the sacred hour. This isn't random. You are being summoned, not just informed. You are being called into position by divine intelligence. At 11:11 today, a gateway opens. And with it, a choice. You will either step forward in alignment or fall back into delay. There will be no middle ground. And Archangel Michael, heaven's chief warrior and guardian of light, has come forth as the forerunner of this message, charged with protecting the chosen and revealing divine strategy to the awakened. Michael does not arrive without reason. When he steps forward, something is being defended. Something is being shifted. Something is being released. He carries not just protection, but revelation. And today, he stands with his flaming sword before the portal of 11:11, guarding it, not from you, but for you. But make no mistake, this message is not for everyone. It will not sit well in the ears of the spiritually blind or the lukewarm. It will stir those who have been sensing the invisible pull, those who have felt the inner call to step into more purpose, more clarity, more divine alignment. If you have been restless in your spirit, this message is confirmation. But time is limited. The window is brief. Silence is required. Stillness is sacred. You must enter this moment not in chaos, but in calm. If you approach distracted, you will miss it. If you delay, you may be locked out. 11:11 is not just a time. It is a code, a door, a divine alignment, and it will not wait. Type "I'm ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1111 is now surrounding you. Hear this now. A divine window is forming, and its frame is narrowing by the second. Heaven is opening a sacred channel by 11:11 today, and it will not stay open forever. This is a moment unlike others. A moment where divine light descends and seeks those who are ready, not just to receive, but to respond. The realm of the Spirit is not waiting for the casual. It is calling the committed. The ones who felt the shift in their bones, the fire in their belly, and the tremble in their dreams. If that's you, know this: you are being summoned. The heavens have set this hour aside. The angels have been mobilized. And Archangel Michael, mighty guardian of realms and defender of the righteous, has drawn his sword. His blade flashes in the unseen, cutting through confusion, delay, and darkness. He is not passive. He does not hesitate. He goes before those who walk in truth, and today, he marches ahead of you. He is separating the false from the real, the illusion from the divine timeline, the detour from destiny. You must understand, this is not a ritual for entertainment. This is not a trend, a symbol, or a superstition. This is a divine command wrapped in mystery. The ritual that will be revealed is not something you try. It is something you obey. And only those whose spirits are aligned will feel the urgency and respond. By the time the clock strikes 11:11, spiritual doors will begin to open that have been long shut. Timelines that were delayed by doubt will begin to surge forward. There is movement behind the veil, and you, yes, you, have been chosen to participate in it. This moment is not for the masses. It is not for the many. It is for the few, the focused, the faithful. There is a war in the atmosphere, and yet there is also an open heaven. Michael does not come alone. He brings with him legions of light, angels of breakthrough, messengers of hope, carriers of scrolls that have your name written in eternal ink. You have been waited on, and now the heavens await your yes. You are not hearing this by accident. You are being drawn in because something in you is rising. Something old is breaking. Something ancient in your DNA is remembering. And that remembrance is not a feeling. It is a spiritual alert system, warning you that something divine is available now. But the warning also carries a weight. Not all will choose. Not all will obey. Not all will see. Some will scroll past and miss their moment. Others will delay, thinking tomorrow is guaranteed. But you are still reading, still sensing, still seeking, because you know that the sacred is near. And if you know, then prepare. Prepare to move in silence. Prepare to obey the instruction. Prepare to cross through the 11:11 gate as one who is ready, not one who is watching from a distance. This ritual is not random. It is an invitation, a whisper from the divine, a strategy from heaven's throne. And Michael is your witness. So, as the hour draws near, breathe. Stand tall, and know that heaven watches your response. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now activated. Have you felt it lately? The strange tension in the air. The unexplainable weariness. The pressure behind your eyes. The tightness in your chest when you walk into certain rooms. You've been surrounded, but not by people alone. By energy. By resistance. By eyes that see, but do not understand. They sense something is shifting in you, but they cannot grasp it fully. And that mystery terrifies them. You have been walking with a hidden fire lately. A quiet awakening. You haven't spoken of it, not openly, but it burns within you. You feel the movement in your soul. The rise of purpose. A strange desire to detach from what once satisfied you. And this shift is not unnoticed. Those who once celebrated you have grown quiet. The ones who smiled at you now shift uncomfortably in your presence. And the whispers, oh, they've begun. The spiritual realm is rumbling because something in you is awakening. And when the chosen rise, the counterfeit reacts. You're not imagining it. The delays, the sudden disruptions, the unprovoked criticism, the dreams that feel half clear and half chaotic. These are spiritual signatures of disruption. And they are not random. They are strategic. The enemy recognizes what many around you do not. You are approaching a divine threshold. You are nearing the hour where your highest timeline is unlocked, and your obedience at 11:11 is the key. This is why the confusion came. This is why people you once trusted began to act strange. This is why you felt like giving up one moment and surging with hope the next. It's warfare. But it's also a divine setup. The gossip, the betrayal, the rejection, all of it has been allowed to agitate the surface, while heaven does deep work beneath. The Most High has been clearing space around you, removing voices that can't go with you, cutting cords that tie you to timelines not meant for you. And though it feels like loss, it's actually heaven's version of alignment. There are some watching you right now, not because they support you, but because they're spiritually intimidated by your rise. They can feel that God is breathing on your name. They can feel that heaven is circling your life with light. And though they smile in your face, their spirit is unsettled by your transformation. But take heart. Their discomfort is your confirmation. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break through. So don't let the tension make you doubt your calling. Don't let the strange silences convince you that you're off course. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And as this sacred portal opens at 11:11, the enemy knows he cannot stop what is coming. He can only distract you long enough to make you miss it. But today, you choose clarity. Today, you rise above the fog of fear and the haze of emotional disturbance. Today, you accept that their discomfort is divine proof that something supernatural is upon you. And that sacred ritual, the one you've been guided to complete before 11:11, it is not just a ritual. It is a reclamation. It is you saying, I will not be shaken. You are not late. You are not lost. You are on the verge of crossing into the highest version of yourself. The timeline of healing. The timeline of divine fulfillment. The timeline of accelerated growth. Let the watchers watch. Let the doubters doubt. They cannot stop what God is initiating. Stay focused. Stay faithful. And get ready. Type I am unstoppable in the comments if this message confirms what you've been feeling. Blessing code 1444 is already in motion. If this message has stirred your spirit and you feel the divine pull toward your highest timeline, you can be part of igniting that same fire in others. Every seed sown into this mission helps carry God's prophetic word into hearts that are desperate for light, truth, and alignment. This isn't just support. It's spiritual sowing. You are planting into a river of revelation, a flow of heavenly oil that reaches the hidden, the broken, the forgotten. Isaiah 55:11 is living now. My word shall not return void. And you are helping send it out in power. If you've been blessed, here's your moment to respond. Whether through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal offering linked in the video description, your act is not random. It is prophetic. It tells heaven, I believe in this mission. And heaven responds, bless your giving. Bless your obedience. And may your offering be multiplied in miracles. So now, the window is open. The oil is flowing. You must understand this deeply now. The battle around your life is not a sign of your failure. It is a divine confirmation of your anointing. The pressure, the resistance, the spiritual interference, it has never been because you were weak or broken. No, it is precisely the opposite. The kingdom of darkness only wars against what carries the light of destiny. If you have felt surrounded lately, it is because heaven has marked you and hell has noticed. This is not punishment. This is preparation through provocation. The resistance has been permitted by God not to break you, but to build in you the clarity to recognize your true calling. What you have been enduring is not a collapse. It is a confrontation between your past timeline and your destined one. The old is fighting for its place, but heaven is pulling you into something higher. And today, on this ordained day, September 16, 2025, you are standing at the edge of a divine fork in the road. What happens by 11:11 is not symbolic. It is strategic. The spiritual realm is watching. The heavens are recording. This moment is holy. It is weighted. It is being weighed in the balance. And your alignment today determines what unfolds tomorrow. This is why the opposition has intensified. The enemy knows he cannot cancel the promise. So he attempts to delay the fulfillment by stirring up doubt, distraction, and discouragement. He whispers lies through familiar voices. He throws curveballs through unexpected chaos. He wants to provoke a reaction that disconnects you from your prophetic posture. But do not react. Do not speak unless heaven tells you to. This is the hour to move in stillness, not in emotion. The spiritual warfare you are facing is not an attack on your identity. It is a confirmation of it. The devil is not confused about who you are. He knows exactly who you are becoming. And so does heaven. That's why the instruction for this hour is so specific. Complete the sacred ritual before 11:11. Because what is being unlocked cannot be accessed through passive belief. It must be stepped into through divine obedience. Heaven's eyes are on you now. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. There is divine surveillance surrounding you. Angels have been dispatched to measure, to guard, and to respond. They do not answer to emotion. They answer to alignment. They answer to faith. When you honor the instruction, you shift timelines. When you obey in silence, you activate angelic movement. And when you complete the ritual as heaven commands, you are not just praying. You are engaging in spiritual warfare with weapons not made by man. This is not a symbolic act. It is a sword in the spirit. It is a banner over your household. It is a declaration that you will no longer participate in the patterns of delay, of fear, of passivity. You are breaking out of the holding pattern. And this moment, this sacred window, is your lift-off. But it must be done in stillness. The world will keep spinning in noise. Distractions will keep showing up in disguise. People may question, provoke, or misunderstand. But none of that matters now. What matters is your obedience before 11:11. What matters is the stillness of your spirit, the clarity of your mind, and the purity of your yes. This portal will not stay open long. Timelines are colliding. Destinies are being sorted. The old is being severed. And only those who respond in alignment will see the shift in full manifestation. So, don't delay. Don't doubt. Don't look back. You've come too far in the spirit to turn around now. Type "I will obey" in the comments if you're ready to step into divine obedience. Blessing code 999 is aligning with you now. Listen carefully now, for this part of the message is not soft. It is not sugar-coated. It comes with the weight of warning and the fire of prophecy. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to awaken you. Because if you truly understood what was coming in the next 72 hours after 11:11, you wouldn't hesitate. You wouldn't procrastinate. You would move with urgency. You would move with honor. You would move with the holy fear of the Lord guiding every breath, every step, every thought. We are no longer in normal time. You have stepped into a compressed timeline, a divine squeeze, where choices echo louder, decisions strike deeper, and obedience activates swifter consequences. The moment the spiritual portal closes at 11:11, things begin to escalate. You will feel it. You will see it. The energy around you will shift. The warfare will intensify. The atmospheres you walk into will either confirm your alignment or reveal your disobedience. This is your warning. There are forces that have been watching, planning, waiting, not just in the natural, but in the spirit. Entities that cannot touch your soul, but can disrupt your movement if you remain unaligned. The moment you hesitate, they infiltrate. The moment you ignore the instruction, they initiate confusion. And many will not recognize the source of their sudden frustration, their unexpected argument, their emotional spiral. But it will all trace back to this moment, to whether or not you obey the call before the hour of divine transition. The next 72 hours after 11:11 will act as a proving ground. Hidden betrayals may rise to the surface. People you trusted might suddenly reveal intentions that feel like daggers. Confrontations may come out of nowhere, not to destroy you, but to test your discernment. Because now that you are stepping into your highest timeline, you will be required to walk with higher clarity. You will no longer have the luxury of emotional decision-making. You will need to move prophetically. And don't be surprised when the pressure mounts. That's not a sign of defeat. It's the final resistance before breakthrough. The enemy always strikes hardest before he's evicted. You'll feel it. The moments where you question everything. The moments where your heart beats faster for no reason. The restlessness. The silence of people who used to cheer you on. The strange way time feels slower and faster all at once. It's not random. It's warfare. But here's the truth the darkness doesn't want you to know. None of it can succeed if you stay aligned. The sacred ritual before 11:11 is your spiritual insurance. It seals your spirit in obedience. It draws a line in the unseen realms that cannot be crossed. It marks you as untouchable. It activates angels to go before you. It places Archangel Michael at the gates of your destiny to war on your behalf. The pressure is confirmation. The strange energy. Confirmation. The rising emotions. Confirmation. You are in proximity to a breakthrough. And because you are so close, you must not break. You must not retreat. This next window will determine who steps forward with divine clarity and who gets swallowed in confusion. And let this be clear, no human being controls this timeline. No algorithm, no influencer, no prophet, no preacher. Only the Spirit of the living God controls the clock. And He has chosen this hour, 11:11 on September 16, to pivot your path into purpose. Do not miss it. Do not delay. The countdown has already begun. The angelic activity has already been stirred. The question is, will you obey before the resistance intensifies? Type "I will not miss my moment" in the comments if your spirit receives this warning. Blessing code 888 is now defending your timeline. Now that the warning has gone forth, let the next instruction be clear and sacred. Be still. Not passive. Not indifferent. But still. Spiritually alert. Emotionally silent. Mentally anchored. Withdraw now. Not as an escape, but as a strategy. You are not hiding from the battle. You are stepping into divine immunity. You are being concealed, covered, and protected under the wings of the Almighty. For those who try to fight this next spiritual war with noise and visibility, there will be disruption. But for those who move in stillness, heaven will fight for you. This is not the time to explain yourself. This is not the hour to defend your motives, post your thoughts, or attempt to justify your journey to others who are not on your spiritual frequency. This is a spiritual operation, and heaven requires your silence to complete it. Archangel Michael is already moving ahead, drawing lines in the invisible. His sword is raised not against flesh and blood, but against the confusion, the torment, the spiritual sabotage that has attempted to weave itself around your timeline. You must understand, the sacred ritual before 11:11 is not about performance. It's not about perfection. It's about posture. Your heart must be aligned. Your mouth must speak only what heaven commands. Your atmosphere must be cleared of distraction. God does not move in clutter. He moves in consecration. If you want to dwell in the realm of peace, you must create space for peace to enter. Stillness is not weakness. It is warfare in disguise. When you step into silence, the angels step into motion. When you detach from unnecessary conversations, God dispatches reinforcements. When you shut the door on distractions, you open the door to divine instructions. This is spiritual technology, and those who apply it walk with uncommon authority. Do not underestimate the power of what happens in stillness. Elijah didn't hear God in the wind, the fire, or the earthquake, but in the whisper. Jesus often withdrew into silence before every major decision, miracle, and movement. Stillness is where you regain your vision. Stillness is where your spirit recalibrates to heaven's rhythm. And in this precise window, this sacred 11:11 gate, stillness is your shield. Now hear this. No weapon formed against you will prosper, but the weapon must still be formed. The attack may still appear. The tension may still knock at your door. But the promise is that it shall not prosper. Not because of your might, but because of your posture. When you are hidden in stillness, you are hidden in Him. Cover yourself now in prayer. Not out of panic, but out of purpose. Wrap your spirit in reflection. Make space for the sacred. Speak the affirmations of protection, and let them be more than words. Let them be weapons. Say aloud, I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. I am covered by angels. I am untouchable by the schemes of darkness. The light surrounds me. The fire defends me. Archangel Michael watches over me. Even now, as you listen, something is lifting. Something is breaking. That heaviness in your chest, it is loosening. That tightness in your spirit, it is unraveling. Because as you step into stillness, the realm of the spirit begins to move on your behalf. You are being wrapped in divine defense. Surrounded. Shielded. Preserved. And as long as you stay in alignment, nothing sent against you will find its mark. This moment is holy. Keep it sacred. Withdraw, reflect, prepare in silence. The war is not yours. The vengeance is not yours. The battle is not yours. It belongs to the Lord. Type I am shielded in the comments if you're choosing stillness over reaction. Blessing code 444 is now covering your household. Now rise. Not with your body, but with your spirit. Let your inner man stand upright. Because you are no longer who they think you are. The version of you that they judged, that they doubted, that they tried to define, that version has been left behind in the fire. You've been through the furnace, and though you may still feel the heat, you have emerged changed. Not burned, but refined. Not broken, but reborn. You have not only survived the shaking, you have been shaped by it. The sacred ritual before 11:11 is not just about escape. It is about emergence. It is about stepping fully into the highest version of who you were always meant to be. You are no longer trying to become. You are becoming. And those who underestimated you will not recognize you. Because this shift is not cosmetic, it is cosmic. Your spirit has expanded. Your authority has increased. Your light has intensified. They thought you were fragile, but you were always fire. They thought your silence was surrender, but it was strategy. They thought your delay was defeat, but it was divine disguise. Now, heaven has unveiled you, and hell is trembling. Because when a chosen one awakens fully to their identity, they become unstoppable. Not by might, not by fame, not by force, but by divine ordination. Let the wings of your calling begin to unfurl now. You were born for elevation. The timelines you're shifting into were written in the language of light. The attacks were merely a prelude. The delays were only detours. But your name was never erased. It was etched in fire, guarded by angels, and now it is being called forth from the heavens. You've walked through betrayal. You've endured silence. You've questioned your worth in the middle of your wilderness. But now, the Spirit of God says, "Rise, warrior of light. Rise, anointed one. Rise, my hidden weapon." This is not just your moment of breakthrough. It is your season of embodiment. The things you used to pray for, you will now carry. The wisdom you used to seek, you now walk in. The authority you once dreamed of now flows through your voice. Do not shrink back. The old version of you is too small for this timeline. The people who try to pull you back into their old perception are not your enemies, but they are misaligned. Do not fight them. Do not chase their approval. They cannot follow where you are going unless they too choose transformation. You are not called to explain your wings to those who have chosen to crawl. Let the imagery rise within you now, fire in your bones, light on your path, and wings stretching in the spirit. You are no longer grounded by fear, no longer tied to timelines of delay. You are being lifted by the breath of God Himself. The winds of alignment are beneath you, and you are not flying alone. Heaven is with you. Archangel Michael is surrounding you. And the divine council has already declared, "This one shall rise." So rise with honor. Rise with clarity. Rise with grace. And do not forget where the fire brought you from. Let it remind you of what had to burn away. Let it remind you that your elevation is not a reward. It is a responsibility. You carry the torch now. You blaze the path. You are no longer becoming. You have become. Type "I have risen" in the comments if you receive this mantle. Blessing code 1212 has now been activated over your next level. Hear this now, not with your ears, but with your spirit. The fire you walked through was not random. The silence was not punishment. The delay was not denial. Everything that has happened up until now has been orchestrated by the divine to lead you to this very moment. This is not just a date. It is a doorway. September 16 is not just a day on the calendar. It is a spiritual address in eternity. And 1111 is the access code into the timeline you were born for. You've been asking, why now? Why this? And the heavens respond, because the appointed time has come. The trials weren't to destroy you. They were to unlock something in you that comfort never could. The pain stirred the purpose. The wilderness revealed the warrior. And now, The portal has opened, and destiny is responding to your alignment. There are timelines in the spirit, layers of reality that run parallel until a moment of decision causes one to collapse and another to emerge. That moment is now. That collapse is happening, and the emergence of your highest timeline has arrived. Not everyone will enter. Not everyone will obey. But those who do will walk in a supernatural acceleration that defies logic and interrupts cycles. In this new timeline, what once resisted you will release you. What once delayed you will deliver you. The people who once dismissed you will be silenced by the evidence of your transformation. You will not have to explain. Your fruit will speak. You will not have to fight. Your alignment will draw angelic enforcement. You will not have to chase. What belongs to you will locate you, because heaven is behind your name. And let this be known, your name is written in heaven. Not in ink, but in light. Not on paper, but on scrolls sealed by the hand of God. And as you obey the call, as you complete the sacred ritual before 11:11, those scrolls are being opened. Destiny is being decoded. Assignments are being released. The angels are being dispatched, and divine instructions are being spoken over your life. This is your confirmation. What you've sensed in your spirit, what you've seen in dreams, what has echoed through your private prayers, it is not imagination. It is revelation. You have entered a prophetic window where things that took years in other seasons will take weeks in this one. The anointing on this moment will fast forward you into divine rooms, relationships, and responsibilities. Not because of your perfection, but because of your positioning. But do not mistake this as a passive blessing. This is an active partnership. Your obedience is the currency. Your alignment is the access point. The ritual is not superstition. It is synchronization. It is you telling heaven, I agree. It is you unlocking divine permission. The ritual is the key, but your faith is the hand that turns it. Let it be spoken now into the atmosphere. The shift is here. The portal is open. The invitation has been extended. Your highest timeline is no longer waiting for you to find it. It is waiting for you to claim it. Step forward now, not as the unsure, but as the anointed. Speak your yes. Declare your readiness. And walk boldly into the season heaven has already written in your name. Type I align with destiny in the comments if your spirit knows this is the time. Blessing code 1010 is now accelerating your assignment. If you know this word was for you, don't let it stop with you. When you give into this mission, you're not supporting content. You're planting into prophetic soil. You are helping this message reach those who are moments away from breakthrough, those whose timelines are still waiting to be awakened. And your seed may be the spark that ignites their transformation. Heaven is using this channel as a trumpet, a voice crying out into the wilderness of delay, distraction, and doubt. And when you give, whether through super thanks, membership, or through a PayPal offering link in the description, you're not giving to a voice. You're giving to a move of God. Malachi 3:10 isn't just written, it is alive. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, and I will open the windows of heaven. This is one of those windows. This is one of those moments. Step into divine partnership. Sow into the shift. And may your gift return multiplied with supernatural clarity, speed, and favor. Do it now. Don't wait. The window is open. Now is the moment of activation. This is no longer about information. It is about initiation. The heavens are not waiting for more of your questions, your analysis, your hesitation. Heaven is waiting for your agreement. The gates are open, the angels are positioned, and the oil is ready to pour, but the oil will only flow where there's obedience. Your destiny is not automatic. It is accessed. And access is given not by desire alone, but by divine declaration. If you want to walk into your highest timeline, you must step out of hesitation and into holy action. Declare it. Align with it. Speak it. Move into it. For too long, you have waited for a sign, a confirmation, a push. But the truth is, you are the sign. You are the one chosen to initiate the next move of God over your life. You are not waiting on heaven. Heaven is waiting on your yes. The sacred ritual before 11:11 is not a spiritual suggestion. It is a divine key. And if you leave the key untouched, the door remains closed. But if you complete the ritual with a heart of submission and a spirit of clarity, you do not just unlock a blessing. You unlock a blueprint. God will begin revealing what was once hidden. Instructions will become clearer. Assignments will unfold. The heaviness that once sat on your chest will begin to lift. And peace will begin to pour into the places where confusion once reigned. You cannot afford to walk into this portal with apathy. You cannot afford to drag the weight of yesterday into the alignment of today. Let this be the moment where your spirit rises and your mouth agrees. Speak life over yourself. Speak purpose. Speak authority. The words you declare in this hour carry eternal consequence. Speak like a chosen one. Pray like a warrior. Move like one who has been anointed for such a time as this. There is no neutral space in the spirit. You are either aligning or delaying. You are either activating your divine agreement or forfeiting it with passivity. And this is not the season to be passive. Not with so much at stake. Not with this kind of anointing hovering over your name. Not with 11:11 closing in. Lift your voice. Let the sound of your agreement rise. Let the ritual be completed not as an obligation, but as a declaration. You are telling the spirit realm, I choose to align. I choose to obey. I choose to rise. No more cycles. No more delay. No more pretending to be less than what God has spoken over me. This is your call to destiny, and it cannot be whispered. It must be thundered from within. This is not the season for small prayers and faint declarations. This is the hour of bold alignment. Heaven is giving you the pen and telling you, sign the scroll with your faith. The contract is waiting. The timeline is open. The only missing piece is your full, fearless yes. And don't expect to feel fully ready. Faith doesn't wait for comfort. It steps into calling. The ground may shake under you, but the promise is sure. The people around you may question, but heaven has already confirmed. You are not rising because of popular opinion. You are rising because God said, now. So rise. Declare. Obey. Step fully into this moment. Complete the ritual with reverence. Make your life a landing strip for divine acceleration. The angels are waiting. The windows are open. The heavens are ready. Type "I activate my destiny" in the comments if your full yes has been released. Blessing code 1717 is now accelerating every divine instruction over your life. Even now, as your hands are still and your mind tries to grasp the weight of what's unfolding, something sacred is taking place in the unseen. There is a holy negotiation underway, a spiritual transaction occurring beyond your comprehension. And it is all happening in silence. No trumpet. No lightning. No public announcement. But heaven is moving on your behalf. What you thought was lost was never truly gone. It was held. It was hidden. It was preserved. The enemy may have touched it, but he could not take ownership. The delay was permitted, but the theft was denied. Because heaven placed your name on the promise, and no force in hell could erase what has been sealed in eternal light. While you slept, heaven documented your pain. While you cried, heaven counted your tears. While you were silent, angels were speaking for you. There is an exchange happening even now. The years you thought were wasted, they are being rebalanced in time. The relationships you mourned, heaven is extracting wisdom from the ashes. The opportunities that slipped through your hands, they were not denied, they were deferred until the fullness of your character could carry them. And now, because you've aligned, because you've obeyed, because you've said yes before 11:11, the records are being adjusted. The scales are tipping. The negotiations are being finalized. You have felt the restlessness. You sensed something stirring while you lay awake at night. That was not anxiety. It was not confusion. It was your spirit picking up on the sound of spiritual conversation, angels discussing timelines, destinies being rearranged, generational curses being confronted in your bloodline. Heaven has not been silent. Heaven has been working. The silent exchange is not just about restoration. It's about transfer. What others mishandled is now being handed to you. The mantles that others dropped in rebellion are being passed to the obedient. There are businesses, ministries, inheritances, blueprints, ideas, divine relationships, and open doors that are moving from the hands of the unaligned into the hands of the anointed. And if you've been obedient, you are one of the recipients. This is why your spirit has felt stretched. This is why the warfare intensified before this day. You were not just fighting battles. You were standing in courtrooms in the spirit. Archangel Michael has stood as witness. Jesus himself is your advocate. The accuser came with accusations, but none of them stood. Because your repentance was heard. Your consecration was honored. Your brokenness became your evidence, and heaven ruled in your favor. Now the exchange is occurring quietly, but its results will not remain hidden. You will begin to see fruit, unexpected favor, divine alignments, accelerated shifts, unexplained peace. You will begin to encounter rooms where your name has already been spoken. Doors will open before you knock, because heaven has been negotiating behind the scenes, and now the results will begin to manifest. Do not mistake the silence of this season for absence. Do not mistake the lack of public validation for lack of progress. Some of the greatest spiritual movements occur in silence. The baby in the womb doesn't make noise, but it grows. The seed in the soil doesn't speak, but it breaks through. So it is with you. The sacred ritual you've been commanded to perform before 11:11 is not just a formality. It is a signature. It is you saying, I accept the terms of the kingdom. It is you agreeing to receive what heaven has already secured. And when you do, the things that seemed out of reach will begin to locate you with divine speed. Heaven has heard you. Heaven has ruled in your favor. Now let heaven finish the exchange. Stay still. Stay covered. Stay in faith. Type I receive the restoration in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 3030 is now moving into divine fulfillment. Now the gavel of heaven strikes, and it does not fall in silence. It resounds across dimensions, reverberating through every spiritual layer where injustice once lingered. Justice is not coming. It has already begun. And what was sent against you, what was whispered in shadows, what was plotted in silence, shall now be returned to its origin. Sevenfold. The scales have not been ignored. The delays have not been forgotten. The manipulation, the spiritual warfare, the lies masked in charm, all of it has been weighed. And now, God has spoken. Enough. The time for endurance has ended. The time for reversal has begun. What was stolen shall be restored. What was tainted shall be cleansed. What was twisted shall be straightened by the hand of divine justice. You do not need to seek revenge. You were never created to swing the sword of judgment. The Lord says, vengeance is mine. And when heaven releases judgment, it is not like man. It is not petty. It is not bitter. It is perfect, complete, and righteous. It does not only bring down what was raised against you, it raises you in the process. You are not only being vindicated, you are being elevated. Those who dug pits for you are about to fall into them. Those who mocked your alignment are about to be silenced by your acceleration. Those who weaponized your vulnerability will now witness your victory, and they will be unable to speak against it, because your elevation will be undeniably divine. Let the word go forth. The trap was real, but so was your obedience. The betrayal hurt, but so did the surrender. The warfare came, but so did your worship. and heaven has recorded it all. You passed tests others would have failed. You remained faithful when it would have been easier to quit. You kept praying when your heart felt hollow. And because of that, the Most High has ruled in your favor. There is a reversal coming, not just in your spirit, but in your circumstances. Finances that were bound will begin to flow. Relationships that were weaponized will now be either healed or removed. Opportunities that were stolen will be multiplied. Time that was lost will be redeemed. And those who once looked down on you will have no choice but to look up and wonder, how did they rise? You didn't rise by force. You rose by alignment. You didn't fight them back. You fought in silence. You didn't curse them. You blessed God. And now, that posture has become your platform. This is not just a moment of restoration. This is a moment of retribution. Not carnal, not chaotic, but spiritual rebalancing. And the divine reversal will be so swift, so complete, so undeniable, that it will reset the atmosphere around your name. Where there was slander, there will now be favor. Where there was misrepresentation, there will be recognition. Where there was dismissal, there will be divine validation. God is balancing the books. Heaven is restoring what was due. And your faith has summoned the hand of justice. Do not gloat. Do not boast. This is not your doing. This is your reward. Stand humbly in the victory. Stand silently in the reversal. And let the fruit of your obedience testify to everyone who once doubted. This one was chosen. This one was protected. This one was delivered. The sacred ritual before 11:11 is the final act of alignment before the reversal is fully released. It is your final signature. Your final yes. Your final act of faith before justice begins to manifest visibly. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. Step into your vindication with quiet authority. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you know heaven is reversing every plot sent against you. Blessing code 7070 is now restoring the balance in your favor. Let it be declared with power and finality. The hour is now. The gate is open. The instruction has been released. And to those with ears to hear and hearts ready to obey, this is your divine appointment. You have not stumbled here. You have been summoned. Every word that echoed through this message was heaven's way of calling your spirit to attention and aligning your path to its highest design. The sacred ritual you've been given is not for ritual's sake. It is for activation. It is for sealing. It is for access. By 11:11 today, a gate in the spirit will close. Those who enter will step into a new level of clarity, momentum, and divine orchestration. Those who hesitate will remain tethered to outdated timelines, entangled in unnecessary warfare, and delayed by spiritual disobedience. This is not a threat. It is a truth. It is the rhythm of the kingdom. Windows open, and then they close. But to those who are aligned, to those who obeyed the call to stillness, to silence, to surrender, there is a shift that will mark you for the rest of your life. The peace you will walk in will be tangible. The power you carry will be felt before you speak. The doors that open for you will not come from striving, but from spiritual positioning. You will walk into divine favor not because of manipulation, but because of mantle. The one God placed on you before you were ever wounded, before you were ever overlooked, before you were ever broken. Let this be the final reminder. You are sealed. You are seen. You are chosen. And no enemy can revoke what God has written. The evidence of this alignment will not only be spiritual, it will manifest in the natural. In your home, in your business, in your relationships, in your health, in your decisions. You will begin to see the thread of God weaving things together that once felt scattered and disconnected. This is not the end. It is the beginning. Today marks a new spiritual contract. Your name is recorded in the scroll of obedience. Your life is shifting into divine flow. And your heart has become a landing pad for miracles that could not find you before. All because you listened. All because you obeyed. All because you said yes before the gate of 11:11 closed. As Archangel Michael returns to the throne with a report of your alignment, heaven rejoices. The angels sing. The scroll is sealed, and your new path begins. Let it be done. Let it be sealed. Let it be fulfilled. Type IT is sealed in the comments if you are stepping into your highest divine timeline. Blessing code 5555 is now wrapped around you like a divine mantle. If this message has lit something in your spirit, if you feel the fire, the weight, the divine alignment of this hour, then so where the fire is. This isn't about helping a channel. This is about fueling the move of God through prophetic release. When you give, you're releasing oil into this altar. You're helping send this word to someone else's breaking point, someone else's 11:11 moment. Proverbs 11:25 declares, "Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed." When you give, through super thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you're activating a cycle of supernatural return. You're not just giving. You're aligning. Don't let the moment pass. Don't let the gate close without marking your place in this movement. Give with faith. Sow with urgency. And watch how heaven responds to obedience. Your offering is not overlooked. It is recorded. It is multiplied. It is sealed.